puppet, play with me. Tell me what I'm not made out of meat.
No Strings is a mob-based episode of Tales from the Dark Side. This is Season 4, Episode 5. Only 14 more episodes to go before we finish the entire series. But we're not done yet. And this episode is really good. And No Strings is about puppeteering. Sounds so nice and wholesome. Our main character is Eddie Manelli, and you could say he's a bit of a wise guy. He's played by TJ Castronova, who is most known for producing. Yeah, he's a producer. In fact, he produced this very series, Tales from the Dark Side, and he actually does a great job in this role as a very believable mobster. A John Gotti type character. Work his way up the ranks. And he is a real psycho. It's very surprising that a producer of Tales from the Dark Side is actually a really good actor at the same time. Not what I expected. He has his girlfriend Tiffany, who's played by Cameron Miltzer, who was in the 1995 Martin Scorsese movie Casino. And Eddie Manelli, well, let's just say, can't trust everyone. There's some snitches out there, so you know what happens to snitches. Actually, it seems like he just kills a guy who he doesn't like, and he's going to put on a puppet show with his dead body. But first he needs a puppeteer. Production values in here are actually quite good. It takes place in a giant warehouse, which is perfect for Tales from the Dark Side since they do one-room locations anyways. But at least this is a big one-room location, which they honestly should have done more. Give some verticality to it. Zoom out the camera a bit so we can see that the location has, so it looks large and expansive, and they can go to other parts of this warehouse. So Eddie Manelli, of course, kidnaps a puppeteer and brings him to this warehouse and makes him do a song and dance with the dead body of his rival, Fat Paulie. Though Fat Paulie doesn't look very fat. I don't know why they do that. And this hits the dark humor perfectly. This might seem like a ridiculous premise, putting on a puppet show with a dead body. Grotesque, gross. And he specifically mentions that he put so many bullet holes in him, as you can see here, so that he could put the strings of the puppeteering and the hooks and the strings into the bullet holes so they could have him move his arms and legs like a real puppet. Kind of genius if you think about it. Don't forget the bullet holes. What are they, orphans? And my favorite part of this episode, after he strings up his dead rival, is he makes the puppeteer read off a list of grievances. Things that he wished Fat Paulie said to him. I was literally laughing out loud when I saw this. It seems exactly what a psychotic mobster would do. And they make it clear, too, that Eddie is moving up into the upper echelon of the unknown family. Is he a made man? Well, we're not sure yet, but he's getting there. And he makes him read off all the things he wished he said to him about how much better he is than him, how much smarter he is, how he should have cut him in more of the money. I'll play a clip of it. It's damn funny.
You even tanked you. And when I told everybody he was a punk and Joliet, that was a lie. She's better off with you, Eddie. You was always better than me.
And now I control all your deals. And all your people are working for me.
But there's a supernatural twist to this episode as well. Eddie's being such a bad guy that getting some bad juju in this warehouse. And another puppet comes alive and begins to cause some chaos in this warehouse and mess with Eddie. And then when he's least expecting it, well, this is Tales from the Dark Side, so some people don't exactly stay dead. And he gets his comeuppance in a grotesque way, being strung up on the very stage that he put Fat Paulie so they can be together in their puppet act forever. Really, the only one who escapes from this is the only innocent person, which is the puppeteer himself. This episode is great. It's written by David Odell, and this shows what happens when you get an actually talented writer to write an episode. They tend to be way better. Was a writer for another puppet show, The Muppet Show. You may have heard of it. And he also wrote The Dark Crystal and Masters of the Universe. And he uses his love of puppetry and mobster movies to combine them in one great combination. This is going to get a 9 out of 10. I've been trying to be less generous on the 9s. There really isn't any complaints about this episode. I would have liked if he just continued reading his grievances. In fact, I could listen to that for an hour, and he actually ends it making Fat Paulie bend over and kiss his butt. He's like, you should have done that years ago. Go, kiss my butt. Come on, you should have done that years ago. Who's better than you? This guy is unhinged. But the acting for all the characters is good. The budget of Tales from the Dark Side is not as noticeable in this one. Like I said, they shot in a warehouse. And actually, I think the puppet stage looks quite good as well. And you get a mobster movie. Bit of a Pennywise clown. That's what he looks like. That comes alive. Person coming back from the dead. Someone getting their comeuppance. A little bit of a love triangle. When he finds out that his girl's kind of been cheating on him with all these other people. He's a mobster, so he's been cheating on her too. Can you really trust anyone in that life? I assume there's a fair amount of cheating in that type of life. These aren't really very trustworthy people. And this is exactly how you do a dark comic episode. By having horror elements, and then a few funny parts that actually fit the characters that they represent. Not just doing off-the-wall stuff or having people yell at the top of their lungs for absolutely no reason. Good job, David Odo. And good job, Tales from the Dark Side, for making a good episode. I like this review. 7 out of 10. This one is pretty messed up. I like it. Exactly my thoughts. This is a pretty decent episode that is a lot darker than a lot of the other episodes from the series. You can say that again. The idea of turning a corpse into a marionette is pure horrific concept, which is what this series does when it works the best. Especially when you learn that the guy used to work for the Muppet Show. Was he really thinking of that stuff when he was working for the Muppet Show? Far less goofy than average, with a killer punch for an ending. They both become puppets. And most of the focus on this episode is the mob parts. Really the guy coming back to life and the marionette talking to them. Happens way at the end, so it's not supernatural the entire way through. And I think it's better for it. Next up is episode 6, The Grave Robber, a comic episode. But wait, is this one that gets it right? It's about a really goofy mummy. We had an Egyptian episode 1 of season 4, The Beatles. Stay tuned for that one. I have a lot to say about it. I think it's not too bad. And check out our playlist for all episodes of Tales from the Dark Side, Fear Itself, Monsters, Cowboy Bebop, Black Mirror, and Pet Shop of Horrors. Thanks a lot.